Good morning. This is Seeker the Scout coming to you live with the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles, and we're doing it twice in one day. Isn't that crazy? I think it is. Not only did I have a daytime stream, but I also got a regular stream time as well. Now, admittedly, I could have started a bit earlier for this one. I could have, but I decided to just do it at the usual time because I'm trying to be a little bit consistent. Now, one day I would like us to move back to the old time, where we start an hour earlier and end at the same time. Just have an extra hour stream every day. But right now, that's not going to happen for a while. See, there's actually construction going on. Hold on, let me get out of this menu so we're not being blasted with this music, and then we can talk. But yeah, right now there's actually construction going on. The building next door is being built. And upstairs, the floors are being completely redone. So I can't really, move starting time up at the moment, unless I want us to be drowned out by construction sounds. And, the construction's been going on for well over 2 years at this point, so it's probably not going to end anytime soon. That being said, let's hop straight into it, shall we? I mean, we were here just earlier, and I had to stop to go deal with the real world things, and now we're back. We've almost finished this trial, actually, I think. But I don't think there's going to be an investigation. We have pretty much everything we need already. But, my poor theory about these two was correct. I don't know if that's gonna, lead into the other thing with the gas meter that I was thinking of, but, who knows. Let's just go into it, shall we? I have considered the defense counsel's request for further summation examination of the jury, and I have determined that the court must uphold the defense's judicial right to this procedure. So, counsel, you will now proceed with your second summation examination. I presume the jury is ready, Mr. Foreman? We are, my lord. Oh, that's not the voice I gave him. Very good. In that case, I must ask each of you now to state clearly and concisely for the court the grounds on which you find the defendant guilty of this crime. Aye, aye. This would probably be the last one, if I had to guess. We already had one, and we're on the second half of the trial. I suppose it could be really long, get to the third, be a 3-section trial. I don't think so. We're running out of things to, get distracted by, unless Von Zykes has more in his pocket. The accused left behind evidence at the scene, didn't he? Those 3 books of his. If there was some novel alternative explanation about how the victim was stabbed, I might reconsider. Even if the woman was throwing books, it can't be related to this crime if the window was closed, can it? Dearie me, it was only a little book, hardly life-threatening, even with a direct hit. Look, I just want to get this over with. If I don't bring it home at some pay tonight, I'd be in a tidy bit of trouble. Come to think of it, we had a fire at home a while ago. Gave me the sneezes. Ooh, that's not great things to work with. We're gonna have to do some pressing. Yes. Considerably more tangible arguments from all members of the jury this time around, it seems. With one notable exception, of course. My learned student friend was unable to find fault in the previous witness testimony. So the court must accept the fact that it was indeed the accused seen fleeing from the scene. And moreover, no one else was even at the scene to commit the crime. I realized his alcohol, his wine, must be super high in alcohol content. I guess that's why I called it alcohol first, because I was about to bring that up. Yeah, it is bursting in the flames with those candles. Well, if the eyewitnesses are correct, it would seem as if the conclusion is somewhat set in stone. I fail to see how it can be argued any other way. Well, that means, I'm afraid, that during this summation examination, it's essential that you establish some other tangible explanation for the facts. But how? What would even constitute a tangible explanation here? Isn't it obvious? Who stabbed the woman, and how? Those 2 details are all you need to provide. Simply give us a name and a method by which the attack was conducted. And there I was thinking this might be hard. But Mr. Naruhodo, you have to do it. Otherwise this really will be where the trial ends. No pressure then. That's quite enough preamble. Proceed with the summation examination, please. I presume you are prepared, counsel? Oh, yes, my lord. All right, Ryunosuke, focus your mind now. Clearly, the key to this summonation examination is going to be juror number 4, the maid. Or should I say Mrs. Garrideb. We have a book that disappeared from the Garrideb's house on the evening of the incident, and the 4th book found in the victim's hand. There must be a way to link the two. Yes, that's what we have to find. Using every technique I've learned in my short career so far, whatever it takes. Don't forget to keep an eye on Mrs. Garrideb and how she reacts, even to things that other people say. Oh, finally this is coming into play. Every time we get an actual witness testimony, I'm so paranoid. You noticed that in last stream maybe, that I keep looking over at the other people, not the speaker, expecting there to be some subtle change. Man, the whole Ace Attorney 4 thing with Apollo Justice and the whole how to even describe it? The whole looking super closely at people in order to figure out their tells when they're lying. That really messed me up, man. That mechanic was so mean. Now let's see. Left behind 3 books. Yeah, you want to know how they were stabbed, so I need to clearly press someone else. Maybe. But what about the possibility that the window was open? What about it? I mean, there's just no way it could have been. How can you be so sure? The prosecutor fellow over there said it earlier, didn't he? Winters in London are no joke. We don't want to invite that sort of cold indoors. So no, that window wasn't open. Us Londoners like sitting by the fire and staying warm, see? But you couldn't categorically state that the window wasn't open, could you? It just wasn't. They wouldn't have opened it. Then what's the point of even having windows, huh? Counsel, you will kindly refrain from childish bickering. No, sorry. Somehow, actually, I figured out the old man at the end. The old man said that there was a fire and it made it made him start sneezing. Okay, let me see. Let me pit you against you. That's not it? The music didn't change. That's not it. Okay, maybe I need to press the old man first. Okay, hold on. Yeah, this is the same dialogue as earlier, so it's fine if we skip it. Let's see. Old man? Here you are. Does that have anything to do with your decision about the defendant's culpability in this case? Sorry, what's that? You'll have to speak up, lad. Could you tell us more about that fire? It was last winter. My grandchildren baked me a lovely cake on my birthday. It had 75 candles on top, it did. What a sight to behold it was. You put candles on a cake? Was it some kind of devil worship? Oh, of course not. It was an angel cake, to celebrate my birthday, of course. It seems that's a common custom here in Great Britain, Mr. Naruhodo. Anyway, I mustered all my puff to blow them out. Only I must have blown wrong somehow. The flames didn't go out, but the candles went flying all over the room. The furniture caught and everything went up. The whole place filled with smoke. Definitely sounds like devil worship to me. And by the sneezes, I presume you mean a cold. But how did you catch a cold from a fire? What a fiasco it was. The grandchildren, bless them, threw water over me as they tried to put out the flames. And then, because the whole room had filled up with smoke, of course, we had to open all the windows to clear it. The windows. The biting winter air rushed over me just like the devil dancing on my grave, it did. I caught a terrible cold from it. It put me in the hospital for a while. I won't forget that birthday in a hurry. I knew it was devil worship all along, but something about this old man's story is playing on my mind for some reason. No, I don't need the looping dialogue. It's fine. I know what we're doing. So now you should be talking about it, right? There you go. These two juror statements clearly contradict one another. They do? How exactly, counsel? And don't point at me again. I told you. Oh, hi, Malicus. Welcome in. Yeah, we just started. You didn't miss much. What's that you say? Speak up, lad. Speak up. Juror number 3. Do you see? Oh, me? See what, sir? Did you hear juror number 6's account of his birthday celebrations last year? It seems, despite being a Londoner, he once opened his windows in the middle of winter. Well, yes, of course, because it was an emergency. I mean, obviously, if the room was filled with smoke from a fire, then you'd be mad not to open the... Oh, wait a second. Exactly. On the day in question, at the time of the incident, there was a fire at the Garredeb household, and Mr. Garredeb had the following to say about it. The whole place filled with smoke. On my hat! Oh, hold on. What's up with you? I'm so happy that their tells whenever like someone else triggers them is so obvious in this game. It's so nice. Like I've already mentioned it before the stream, but I'm gonna say it again. Ace Attorney 4, I was so paranoid. Like at all, I mean, not really paranoid because they tell you when to do it. Like when someone has a tell, you just have to figure out what it is. But because all the tells in that game are so microscopic, like you literally could not see them if you were not hovering over them with a microscope. It made me so paranoid and for the vast majority of this game so far. In fact, I probably still will be going forward. That I'm just gonna have to not see the I cannot see the tells. Oh, the coffee girl. That is Mrs. Garibald. She is pretending to be a maid, so their family is perceived as middle class and not poor. She's pouring tea constantly because I guess that's her thing. And right now we're suspecting her and her husband, who is not currently here, of being involved in this murder because the victim was found with one of their books in their possession upon death. And I just made a horrible, horrible mistake. You see, I just ate dinner before coming here, because these regular streams of mine, I do them right after I eat. And I had spicy food. And I just touched my eyes, which, needless to say, it really, really hurts. Like, it hurts really bad. So I'm going to actually pause for a second so I can go wash my eyes. I'm starting to cry now. Okay, hold on. I'm going to be back. Oh, it stings. Oh, God. It would seem that I must live with the consequences of my actions because, capsaicin is an oil. It doesn't come out very well, so I'm much, much better now. I can tolerate it, but it's going to burn for a while. And now I am involuntarily crying everywhere. Okay, it's fine. Get back into it. I mean, the point is we suspect Joanne Garredeb of being involved in the murder. No clue how, though. We just know that she somehow got a flaming book out the window or out the door. One of the two. If she went out the door... Oh, actually, what if she threw a knife out the window? She might have thrown a knife out the window and it hit someone. Juror number 4. You have something to say about that? Mrs. Garredeb? Oh, dearie me. What is the meaning of this? How dare you imply that I'm hiding who I really am? It's imperative that you confirm something for the court. So please, it's time to drop the pretense now. What is it? When the fire started in your house that day, did you or your husband open the window? What? I beg your pardon? What are you insinuating? That room would have been thick with smoke after the carpet and bookcase caught fire as they did. In a situation like that, it's inconceivable that you wouldn't have opened the windows. And what if we did? Oh, all right then. Yes, you're right. My husband was frantically trying to open the window, which can't have been easy since I continued to give him a justly deserved book battering. Even though your house was on fire? Oh, you never stop throwing until the anger subsides. It would be terribly bad for the nerves to do otherwise. Oh, yeah. It was noted during last stream that she is not really a great person at all. That's a significant step forward, Mr. Naruhodo. You managed to establish that the window was open. We simply must have that added to Mrs. Garredeb's formal statement. Okay, well, I mean, I'm surprised that we have to do this, but sure, yeah, let's go ahead. No, those two statements clearly contradict each other. Wait, they don't? Excuse me, what? Okay, what did I do wrong there? That seemed like the natural proceeding of things. Hold on. Fine, let me press you, then. The fourth book found at the scene of the crime shows very obvious signs of fire damage. And the title of the book is The Lion's Pride. The same title, in fact, as the book that Mr. Garadeb told us he had been reading. Well, I really couldn't say. On the day in question, did you or did you not throw at your husband the copy of The Lion's Pride that he'd been reading? I did. It was the first thing I could lay my hands on, so I hurled it straight at him. Oh, welcome in, Noir, welcome in. Now that you mention it, yes. He was rather enjoying reading it, you're right. Why did you not reveal this information to the court from the outset? Because I couldn't, you insolent little man, I didn't remember. At times like that, you pick up and throw whatever you can lay your hands on as well, you know. I really don't. I barely noticed I was throwing a book, much less the title of it. Oh? Wait, what does he have to say about this?
Excuse me.
Was he even involved in this? What is it, juror number 5? You know something? I've remembered what it was. That memory I'd blocked out. What? It was listening to what this granny was saying. Brought it all flooding back. Who are you calling a granny, you cheeky devil? I'm Mrs. Garadeb, or the maid, I'll have you know. The man doesn't even flinch. Please tell me that's not because he's so used to being hit all the time. It was about 2 weeks ago now. I just got back home after work, like. I put my hand in my pocket for the wages I'd just earned that day, and I nearly died. There was a hole. Every last penny had been dropped out. Oh dear, what a disaster. You haven't heard the half of it, boy. Oh? The wife was cutting up some chicken at the time. I could hardly get the words out, but I told her straight. I've lost the day's wages, love. Next thing I knew, the blade was whistling past my ear. Stuck in the wall deep next to me, it did. About an inch deep. No words, just terror. I could smell it then, you know. That god-awful stench of the Thames. I was sure I was going to end up face down in the muddy banks that night, I can tell you. Now, that's a real disaster, isn't it? I'll never use the word lightly again. Anyway, the point I'm trying to make is this. When a woman loses their rag, they'll throw anything at you. Knives, hatchets, hammers, you name it. Mr. Naruhodo, you mustn't think that all women are so short-tempered and unrefined. No, I wasn't thinking that. Throwing household objects at people is, well, it's so uncivilized. At least attack with honor, using a bow or the like. What? Attack? Who are you going to attack? Never mind. Anyway, this man's words could be rather significant, I think. Alright, I'll come back to the bow and arrow thing later, if I dare. Okay, I think I was right. So earlier I mentioned that maybe she threw a knife out the window and it hit someone. I think that's exactly what happened. I think she threw the book, the person bent over to pick it up, and then she threw a knife and then it hit them in the back. Which is crazy, but you know, these games are, you know, crazy is normal. So how do we want to start this off? I think we had to actually finish off this thing, because we sort of interrupted it. I hit the wrong button. Hold on, let me skip this. We already done this one. Yep, skip it. Skippa. There we go. And you need to be pitted against the guy on the end, and this time we need to listen to it all the way through.
Objection.
To convince you two. Wait, what? Wait, what? Excuse me? Game, what do you mean game over? Why? We did it before and it got Does it count? Oh, it's because it didn't flip. Okay. That's a really weird mechanic. So usually whenever you put two people together, it flips them to your side, right? But this time, because there's interruption in the middle of it, which I don't believe has happened before yet, instead of flipping them and it just adds new testimony. So I guess we just lose there? I misinterpreted the mechanic? Oh, I hate that. That's unfortunate. This case has been really giving me the runaround, though. That's like the second time you've gamed over. Though this time was due to misunderstanding game mechanics. Anyways, we gotta get back to where we were now. So we gotta listen to the guy on the end first. So yeah, press him. That's the first thing we do. It's gonna take a bit. Bum, 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 bum. I will say, I've really enjoyed the music in these games. Or, at least in this, from what I remember. I don't actually remember most of it. Now, it's not nearly as, wrong button. Not nearly as iconic or, easy to remember as the first games, because, I mean, I'll always have those first games stuck in my mind. It's kind of hard not to. But it is good. That cannot be understated. It's really quite great. Really putting the, the switches... Was this game a Switch game, actually? I realized earlier, I called it a DS game. It's not a DS game. The previous trilogy was a DS game. I skipped a thing. My bad. Hold on. Can I still go over to here? Good. But yeah, the previous... This was a Switch game, I believe. So, yeah, putting the Switch's capabilities to full use, actually having a more complex soundtrack, I think would be the way I phrase that. Anyway, we've almost caught up. We've almost caught up. Just gotta get through one more testimony from the guy on the right. Once he remembers what happened with the wife.
Oh boy.
There we go.
Excuse me.
And now we just hold B and it will put us right back to where we were. Perfect. You know, trying to get back to where you were previously if you didn't save kind of sucks. I mean, I'm not in the habit of saving the middle of Ace Attorney over and over. I was originally, back when I was playing the original ones, because if you died in those, you go back to your save. There was no, restart from scene or restart chapter. Well, I guess you can restart chapter, but that's really far back if you're doing that. Actually, I got super lucky. It's actually possible to kind of soft-lock yourself. There's a part... Well, actually, no, it is just straight up possible to lock yourself out. Like, if you... Okay, so whenever you're asked to present evidence in those games, if you do it wrong, you know, it boots you back to where you previously were. And then you do it again, because there's a right option. But sometimes there isn't. Like, for instance, sometimes you'll be asked, should I pursue this or should I let it go? And then once you choose, let's say the incorrect option is to pursue. You should let it go. If you pursue, there's going to be a little bit of dialogue, and then there's going to be the option to choose. If you choose to save during that dialogue, and then there's no right answer, and you only have one life left, you've just soft-locked yourself, because you can't choose an answer that gets you back to where you previously were without taking damage. And it really sucks. You have to be really careful with your saving, because, you know, you could do something like that and screw yourself over and have to redo the whole chapter. Luckily, I never had to do that myself, but I definitely did realize that was something that could happen whenever I realized that I am supposed to let something go. And I almost did it to myself, but yeah. The point is, I haven't been in the habit of saving tons because of things like that. Anyways, it's time to, pit you. Do I put these two together? It's not going to actually... They're not contradictory, but... I can't put them against each other, but this would say that maybe the window is open. Maybe? No, it's not. In that case, I'll try pitting him against the other lady. Because she was asking about an alternative method. And I think we have an alternative method now. There we go. Okay, that was it. That was it. These two statements clearly have a deep, significant connection. Good grief! You mean they don't contradict each other? Explain, counsel, at once. Juror number 2. Do you think perhaps... Now, this could be one such novel alternative. Oh my, whatever do you mean? An alternative explanation as to how the victim was stabbed in the back. What are you talking about? We've just demonstrated the fourth book, The Lion's Pride, that was found in the scene of the crime, originated from Mr. Garrideb's room on the top floor of his house. Therefore, it's equally possible that some other object besides the book could have found its way from the Garrideb household to the street below. What's that now? After all, Mrs. Garrideb could have thrown any number of different objects at her husband. Isn't that right, juror number 4? What are you insinuating, you little beanpole? I'm beginning to think that ever since the true origins of this book came to light, perhaps she's had a feeling this might be what happened. Now, you listen here, you Eastern Gala. As the foreman of this jury, I demand a straight answer. You give us this yarn about some other object making its way out of the house, but what? What was it? Now, I'm really taking a big gamble here. That was a bold accusation to make, but I haven't any real evidence to back it up. But I'm certain that at the very least this warrants further investigation. Oh, hold on, are we actually going to get to go investigate? Alright, Mr. Foreman, I'll try to explain the defense's theory. The other object that found its way from the Garrideb household to the scene of the crime.
Take that!
Juror number 4, Mrs. Garrideb. What now? I must apologize in advance for this. But I need you to confirm something else for the court. This knife. Have you seen this knife before? Good Lord, counsel, what on earth are you doing? That's the weapon that was lodged in the victim's back, man. Oh, it weirds me out that they say man so much. My lord, remember that when the first victim was attacked, Mr. and Mrs. Garrideb were in the throes of an argument. Mrs. Garrideb was hurling anything she could at her husband, who had been backed up against the window. A window that had been opened to clear the smoke, and through which a book sailed in to land at the crime scene. You can't seriously believe that. That book was found in the victim's grasp. Are you saying that it flew out the window and across the street to land neatly in her hand? Even my missus ain't gonna aim like that. Yes, I admit, there are many details we don't yet understand. Well, that's the point. That's precisely why we mustn't allow this trial to end. Not right now. Oh my. Mrs. Garrideb, your answer, please. Have you seen this knife before or not? I still am not gonna scream. Oh, I had that reverb button I could have used. It's fine, I'll remember to use it at one point. My lord! My lord, I wish to change my decision. I am a woman of my word, after all. Thank you, madam. Yes, I agree. I certainly didn't see this coming, but I just don't think it would be right for this trial to come to an end now with so many unanswered questions. Mr. Foreman? I'd have to agree. Not that I think the granny did it, mind. Yes, you know what? I'm not quite happy about this at the moment either. All together now, ladies and gents. Well, we convinced 4 of them. That's all we needed. We did it. Oh, congratulations, Mr. Naruhodo. So, as a result of the defense's summation examination, a number of jurors' leanings have changed. 2 jurors call guilty against 4 now calling innocent. Accordingly, the opinion of this court is divided, and the trial will continue. Man, this is such a... I have to say, as much as I'm happy that they have a jury in this game, I think this is such a stupid way to have a jury. Like, not in-game, like for game purposes. For game purposes, it's fine. But lore-wise, this is so stupid. Now then, Lord Von Zykes, how does the prosecution wish to proceed? Oh, is it time to smash another goblet? Or chalice? This trial is rapidly descending into a farce. Like a corked wine, the first few sips are bitter enough. But what follows is so repugnant it's good for nothing save the gutter. If I may, Lord Von Zykes, The defense has just put forward a credible alternative explanation for what happened. Credible? Is that your considered opinion, Mr. Foreman? The defense's argument is a joke to which I barely know how to respond. But let me start by insisting that you must all familiarize yourselves better with the relative positions of those places being discussed. What do you mean by that? What's his angle this time? It should already be more than apparent that between the crime scene and the Garrideb household runs a rather wide street, Briar Road. Which means that the distance from the Garrideb's house to the scene is some, yes, 15 yards. Let me see, 15 yards? That's around 14 meters. 14 meters? Oh, that's a little further than I'd imagined. And as you ladies and gentlemen of the jury rightly noted as having portentous significance, the fourth book was found in the victim's clutches. I really don't see what the issue is with it being in their hands. They would just pick it up. In other words, the smoldering book, wantonly hurled by the lady of the house, traveled some 15 yards to land on the opposite side of the road, neatly between the collapsed victim's fingers and thumb. I don't think they're collapsed yet. Is that your final conclusion, my learned and deluded friend? And did the jackknife follow a near-identical trajectory to plunge into the middle of the victim's back? This fantasy is somewhat stretching the notion of having a bad day for the victim, I think. Even those pathetic serialized detective stories have more believable plots. There's nothing I can say to that. That prosecutor loves the sound of his own voice. Miss Usato, serialized detective stories are pathetic, are they? How dare he? Maybe let's pick our battles here. My lord, might I be allowed to speak? As judicial assistant, you may speak for the defense, yes. Go ahead. The prosecution may consider the idea of a fantasy, but what the defense has postulated was believable enough to persuade the jury to change its leaning. And as such, the court has a duty to explore this alternative explanation as thoroughly as possible. To that end, juror number 4, Mrs. Joanne Garrideb, must be called to testify and submit a cross-examination. Oh, and submit 2 cross-examination.
Saints alive! A cross-examination of a juror?
Yeah, well, this is what happens when you don't pick your jurors properly, Judge. This is your fault.
Order!
Well, this is highly irregular.
It is unprecedented for a member of the jury to be summoned to the witness stand. Objection.
And unnecessary.
Lord Von Zykes?
There are already witnesses in the stand whose testimony the defense may further cross-examine. If my learned friend's farcical theory has any truth to it, then both a burning book and a jackknife must have flown to the sky before this couple's eyes. And we must assume they would be able to testify accordingly.
What say you, witnesses?
Oh, come on, wake up. Yes, sir. Constable Rolly Beats reporting for duty, sir.
Well. Good morning, officer.
Sorry for dozing until now, sir. I haven't slept for a month on account of a villain who's appeared on my beat, sir. Oh, they are so heroic, these London bobbies. Patricia, my darling, I've been neglecting you, but no more. Oh, Rolly, my hero, you make me swoon.
Very well. I hereby reject the defense's request.
Oh.
And order the witnesses in the stand to testify again. State forthwith before the court any details pertaining to the defense's alternative explanation of events.
Yes, sir. Oh, is he actually going to be awake now? No, he's not. He's still tired. This case has nothing to do with Mr. and Mrs. Garrideb. Believe me, a London bobby is good for his word. You see, sir, the windows on the top floor of the Garrideb house are top-hinged casements. Obviously, if anything had been thrown out of the window, we would have seen it. I did leave the scene to go and fetch for help,
but my trusty Rolly was there to make sure nothing was disturbed. I didn't take my eye off the crime scene for one moment, sir. Nothing strange to report on that front, sir. Well, this is quite startling. Top-hinged casement windows. That detail was not in the police report, Constable. Ah, yes, well, sorry about that. I must have been a little drowsy. You cannot excuse your sins with drowsiness every time, Constable. No, sir. Sorry, but... what exactly is a top-hinged casement window? And you cannot excuse your ignorance with such trite remarks, my learned friend. Of course. Sorry. No, I don't know what that is either. I found it, Mr. Naruhodo. Cast your mind back to the windows in Mr. and Mrs. Gerdeb's room. Alright, I'll try. So, the window opens in order to allow air to circulate inside the house. But as it's a top-hinged casement window, it swings open along the upper edge, you see. I'm glad you rectified your ignorance. A casement window's most prominent feature is its stay, a metal bar which prevents the window from being opened beyond a certain amount. It prevents it opening? This is all news to me. Absolutely correct, sir. In other words, if a book or knife was to be thrown through the open window, it would have to clatter against the pane and fallen straight down to the pavement below. No. You see the problem, then? Good. Your education in Windows is complete. There was never any possibility of either the book or the knife traveling 15 yards over the road. That is, unless the window pane had been shattered. Something we've discounted already. That can't be! Did you see that, Rolly? That young Japanese man just collapsed in agony. Oh yes, my darling, I saw it. I saw how he crumbled before me. Oh, Rolly, you're so strong. How is this happening? I haven't even started the cross-examination yet, and already my argument's been destroyed. Counsel, if you can drag yourself upright again, the court awaits your cross-examination. My lord. Oh, good, another desperate situation. Okay, how do I deal with this? Yeah, I'll believe that. Top hinged casements. I see. I don't think anything here helps with that. No, it doesn't. Oh, I skipped one. I had been thrown out of the window. We would have seen it. Can I believe that? I can. We left the scene to go and fetch help. Your trusty Rolly was there to make sure nothing was disturbed. You didn't take your eye off the crime scene for one moment. You know, that's something I want to know about. You didn't take your eye off the crime scene, which means you wouldn't have seen what's going on upstairs. Nothing to report. That's correct, sir. I had my eyes open the entire time. Never looked away for a second. No one else approached the scene, and nothing was removed from it. I can swear to that on the yard's honest, sir. Really? That seems a little strange. I beg your pardon, sir? Strange, sir? Seems altogether regular to me. This burnt copy of The Lion's Pride was originally in the Gerdeb household, so the question remains, how did it find its way into the hand of the victim? Can you shed any light on that, seeing as you were at the scene of the crime the entire time? Aha! Could it be a different copy, sir? One that just happened to be burnt as well? Even if it were possible, why would the victim have been gripping a book like that in her hand? As we can see from this photographic print, she had a bag over her shoulder. Well, sir, that book was in the lady's hand from the moment we arrived on the scene. Is that so? There's something about this statement that's not sitting right with me. The two mysteries of how the knife ended up in her back and how the book ended up in her hand. There must be some common thread between them. Oh, and here's the looping dialogue. We don't need to see this. I was right, though, to press that. It seems to be the right angle. Top floor has top hinged casements. Tell me more. Tell me more. By which you mean they don't open fully, is that correct? Yes, sir. They're just there to allow a bit of air into the house, you see? So they're restricted as to how much they open. Now, I can't help but notice the latch on the bottom as well. And therefore, anything thrown out of the window from inside the room would simply strike the pane and fall to the street directly below. For clarity, allow me to mark the map. Oh, thank you. Here is the location where the objects would have fallen. Yes. Directly opposite of the scene of the crime, on the other side of the rather wide road. Would it have been so hard for someone to mention this top hinged casement thing before? Well, I have another question for you, Constable. And what would that be, sir? How do you even know? Yeah, I was about to ask that. How does he know what the inside of the house looks like? Why would you have any idea of what sort of windows Mr. and Mrs. Gerdeb's house is furnished with? Ah, well, sir, that's very simple. You see, I helped with the investigation yesterday. Oh?
Excuse me.
You have something to add, Mrs. Beat? Oh, sorry. You look, well, delighted. Is there any particular reason for that? Oh, I was just remembering, that's all. We really were so lucky. Lucky? What do you mean? Well, of course I feel terrible for the poor woman who was attacked. Don't misunderstand me, please. But we were just so lucky it didn't happen on Rolly's Beats. It was so close, you see. Oh, I hadn't realized. Oh yes, that street at Briar Road. That's the boundary between Rolly's Beat and the next one. Isn't that right, my love? Oh, they moved it. They moved it on purpose. Oh, so they can go on their anniversary. Okay. Constable Beats. Oh, yes, that's right. That's the reason I was helping out with interviewing the occupants of the Gerdeb household yesterday. Their house was on my beat, you see, sir. Huh, that really was cutting it close then. Constable, I wonder if you could clarify something. If the Gerdeb household is on your beat, does that mean that the pavement next to it as well? Outside Mr. Gerdeb's house? Yes, ma'am. The pavement on that side of the road is part of my beat. I see. I was unaware of that. Just think, if the woman had been attacked just on the other side of the Briar Road, we would never been able to go out for that meal to celebrate our wedding anniversary. But that's the life of a Bobby, after all. Extraordinary people, our Bobbies. Tirelessly working for the benefit of all Londoners. You know what I think? I think it was the good Lord's way of rewarding my Rolly for all his hard work. Don't you think so, my darling? That must be it, Pat, my love. That must be it. I think perhaps we should have that information officially on record. Leave it to me, Mr. Naruhodo. I'll take care of it immediately. Okay, the pavement where the victim was found lies just outside Constable Beat's beat, the border of which runs down the middle of Briar Road. And now it's my turn, I think. Okay. Naked crime. I saw the crime scene for one moment. Nothing strange to report on that front. You know, something about this bothers me. I feel like you may have possibly tampered with it, perhaps. Yes, you said you went to the nearby police box to fetch another officer, is that right? That's right, yes. If it had been on Rolly's beat, I would have known exactly where I was going, of course. Don't feel bad, my love. You can't be expected to know the location of every office box on every beat. So Rolly told me the way, only I sort of got a little lost on the way. Patricia, my darling, that's why I love you. Your terrible sense of direction is bewitching to me. Oh, Pats. Oh, Pats. Oh, Rolly. I just realized her name is a pun. It's Petrol. Yeah, I'm surprised I didn't notice that before. Oh, please. So, I suppose I was gone for about 15 minutes. But like I said, my Rolly was at the scene the whole time, making sure nothing was disturbed. I was off duty at the time, of course, but a true Bobby is never really off duty, sir. Okay. And I'm going to press this again, see if something changed. Yeah, so we've already seen this. We've already seen this, yeah? How did it find its way there? No, this is all the same. Okay, I think we gotta present then. So far this seems to be a rather straightforward thing. Now let's see how straightforward it is, because if this is really what I think it is, then it's not too bad. No, that's not it. Okay. Just needed to make sure of that. I hit the wrong button. Oh, it's the looping dialogue. It's back. That's unfortunate. Yeah. Speed through it. Speed through it. Oh, man. You can tell I'm tired today, can't you? Wait, hold on. Let me see that first one. No, go back. Go back. Let me see that first one. Nothing to do with you two, huh? Tell me more about that. How can you say that for certain? A very good question, sir. And the answer is this. It has the noble founding principles of the Force written on it as a reminder to all us policemen on our sworn duty. You know, he pulled this out earlier as well. Oh yeah, that's what she's saying. He showed us that earlier as before, didn't he? Did he? I can't say I remember. To patrol the streets of London town and uphold the peace of the common man is what the job's all about. And that's why I can stand here today beside my long-suffering wife and tell you Bobby's good for his word. While rubbing my tired eyes, admittedly. Sir? Oh, Rolly, you're so manly. Of course I am, my darling Patricia. Oh, Pat. Oh, Rolly. No, none of this is what I meant. I meant, how can you say for certain that this case has nothing to do with Mr. and Mrs. Garrideb? Ah, I see, sir. You should have said so earlier, sir. Yes, well, so you could answer the question? That was a waste of time, then. Absolutely, sir. I'll answer to my fullest of my abilities, sir. There's a surprising reason why Mr. and Mrs. Garrideb's domestic dispute can't be related to this case. But before I get into that, sir, just one thing. Yes? I'd very much like you and all your countrymen to understand the great British institution of Scotland Yard. So I hope you'll take back some tales of us London Bobbies and how we uphold our guiding principles. I wasn't planning on going back just yet. I've only just arrived here. So to that end, sir, I'd be happy to lend you my warrant card for your perusal. But I must warn you, you won't be able to get through it without shedding a few tears. Thank you. I'll try. Oh, okay, that's important, that's important. Oh, and apparently we're done with this thing they've decided for me. Let me read this. Policeman will strive to preserve the peace within his allotted beats. A patrolling officer is expected to walk 20 miles around his beat every day for the furtherance of community relations. Any crimes fall under the jurisdiction of the beat in which they are discovered. When a crime is discovered on his beat, a policeman must assist with initial investigations and help detectives. Okay. Good to know. Well then, how did he get out of the initial investigation if he left to go to his dinner? Can I ask you something? Please, Mr. Lawyer, sir. Oh, yes, of course. What is it? You're doubting us, aren't you? I can tell. What? I wasn't really. I mean, what's she doing? Please, just because I'm a woman, it doesn't make my testimony any less valuable. You might just see me as the wife of a policeman, but I'm a woman of my word, I am. I really don't remember ever suggesting that I doubted you. No excuses, I don't want to hear it. My voice will be heard. My lord, you'll let me speak, won't you? Yes, Mrs. Beats. I will allow you to supplement your testimony if you so desire. Sometimes the path of the least resistance is the sage one. That was a very loud mutter. I heard that. Oh yeah. I'm also tired. That Japanese man thinks the policeman's wife's word counts for nothing, does he? Well, watch out, sir. I might not let you get away with something like that, but my Rolly won't. Duly noted, Mrs. Beats. Please, I humbly ask you to continue. What could she possibly be about to say, I wonder? I know what I saw. My eyes never let me down. My sense of direction is a little off sometimes, though. Ooh, tell me. Mrs. Beat, nobody's questioning what you told us. I saw it, I did. That evening I clearly saw it. That little Eastern man with the whiskers and the funny curved back, slinking away from the scene. And I know what I didn't see as well. I didn't see any flaming books or knives flying through the sky. All very clear. You also mentioned something about having a poor sense of direction? Oh, yes. Well, that's a little embarrassing, really. I've always ended up at the wrong place when I've made arrangements to meet Rolly. He gets ever so cross.
Excuse me.
Constable Beat, is there a problem? No, sir. No problem, sir. Did your wife's remark just now bring something to mind, perhaps? Oh, well, in a way, sir. Yes, sir. I was just remembering that the same thing happened that evening is all. Oh? You mean Mrs. Beat lost her way? On the night of the incident? Well, you see, I sent her off to find the police box in the next beat over from mine, but she was gone a bit far longer than I was expecting. I thought she'd be back inside 10 minutes, but my darling was gone a good 15. Oh, Rolly, you're such a tease. But the reason I was so long was because of the bouquet, Tilly. The bouquet? Sorry, what bouquet are you talking about? Oh, it was a present for our wedding anniversary. Rolly's so romantic. He saved up for it with farthings and halfpennies he found in the gutter while doing his rounds. Yes, how romantic. I had forgotten all about it until just now. Had you, my darling? Yes, but that was just between us. No talking about anyone else, darling. You have to promise. Really? Oh. What was that all about? Constable Beat looked very obviously troubled during that exchange. I'm afraid I can't offer any useful insight, Mr. Naruhodo. But I'm quite sure of one thing. We have to ask Mrs. Beat about the bouquet. Mrs. Beat, this bouquet you just mentioned. I'd like you to add details about it to your testimony, please. Oh, really? Yes, I'd love to. I don't trust this. You know, obviously, but I don't know why how this ties in. What happened was, I dropped my bouquet and ended up losing my way for a while. How does that work? You mean you dropped the bouquet at the scene of the crime? Yes, that's right. Oh, I was so upset. When we ran over and saw it was a woman with a knife in her back, I was so shocked I dropped the bouquet Rolly gave me. It was in a dark spot where the streetlights weren't casting any light, so I didn't notice at first. And then you went to the police box to report to the policeman whose beat it was on. Yes, and I came back to the scene together with the other constable, you see. That's when I spotted my bouquet again. But the funny thing was, when I went to pick it up, it was nowhere in the victim's body, near the victim's body at all. In the case you need reminding, Mrs. Beats, the victim is not deceased. I was all flustered for a moment before I heard a voice calling me from the other side of the road. Your husband, presumably? That's right, silly me, I'd gone over to the wrong side of the street. Although, I'm going to blame the bouquet this time. I can't think of how it got there, I really can't. So the bouquet somehow moved from one side of Briar Road to the opposite. Curious indeed. Okay, so we do have confirmation now that they did move the body, or he moved the body. Isn't it? But the worst of it is, I forgot to pick up the bouquet again when we left the scene. That beautiful rose Rolly bought me. That change from the gutter he spent so long collecting. I don't think a single rose is a bouquet. By bouquet, you perhaps mean this sorry solitary rose? Oh, yes, that's it. That's the bouquet Rolly bought for me for our anniversary, with old bits of change he found in the gutter. Maybe just call it a rose. Tell us, Lord Von Zykes, where did you come by this flower? According to the report by the police officer in charge of the crime scene investigation, it was found on the edge of the pavement in front of the Garadeb household. In front of the Garadeb's house? Although it wasn't noticed until the morning, as it lay where the street lamps cast no light. It was believed to be of no relevance to the case, since it was found opposite of the side of the thoroughfare. Oh, thank you, sir, thank you. Could I have it back now, please? No, I think for good measure, this rose should be added to the court record as evidence. Oh. There we go. I want to look at it, see if there's anything interesting on it, just in case. Because there could be like a mysterious bloodstain on it that wasn't mentioned. It seems that's not the case this time, though. But it's a symbol of our love. I want it back after the trial, do you hear me? I want it back. Oh, good grief. Rest assured that I shall do my very best not to forget, Mrs. Beats. Well, I think that something did happen, Rolly. I'm going to press first, though, because when I pressed beforehand, there was orange text in here. Just in case. Just in case. I don't want to get another game over. No, speeding through this. Okay, nothing there. Okay, I do have to present. You got it. Bum 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 bum. Bum 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 bum. And I did it again. Oh god, I hate the looping dialogue sometimes. It really does annoy me. There we go. Okay, just let him talk. Yeah, let it talk normal. And then present the rose. Right? Because the rose, according to the current story moved from one side of the road to the other. You claim, Constable Beat, that there was nothing to report in the 15 or so minutes that you were guarding the scene. But that cannot be. What do you mean to say? In your testimony just now, Mr. Speets, you explained to the court that when you arrived back at the scene of the crime, with the policeman assigned to that beat, the bouquet you had dropped at the victim's side was no longer anywhere nearby. Yes, on the opposite side of Briar Road, where the victim was attacked. But considering the size of the meager bouquet, if a single sorry bloom can be so described, no doubt it was blown in the wind across the street, back into the gutter where it belongs. Meager? Don't be so mean, Von Zykes. But if that were the case, why did Constable Beat not testify to the fact? No one else approached the scene. Nothing was removed from it. Constable Beat swore that on the Scotland Yard's honor. But the bouquet belonged to me. It had nothing to do with the case. That's why Rolly didn't mention it, I'm sure. No, because sadly, it's not only your bouquet we're talking about here. More than one thing in this case is mysteriously the wrong way around. What are you talking about? Think about it. Besides Mrs. Beat's bouquet, there's Mr. Garadeb's book. Mr. Garadeb's copy of The Lion's Pride, which was thrown out the window by his wife, would have struck the pane of the casement window and landed here on the west side of the street. And yet, It was actually found here, on the opposite side of the road, in the victim's hand. Meanwhile, according to the testimony we've heard, Mrs. Beats' bouquet should have been dropped here at the scene of the crime on the east side of the street. But in fact, it was actually found here on the opposite side of the road, in front of Mr. and Mrs. Garadeb's house. There's no logical explanation for those things, unless someone deliberately moved them. What are you trying to say? The way you're talking, it sounds like you think my Rolly's done something wrong. Now, to listen to a word that scrawny lawyer says, wittering on about books and bouquets, why should we care? It's nitpicking, that's what it is. Oh, good. Mrs. Garadeb's come around. You might call it nitpicking, Mrs. Garadeb, but deliberately meddling with the scene of the crime is a criminal offense. It's called, tampering, Mr. Naruhodo. But the person responsible for this tampering cannot admit to it, for a very subtle but compelling reason. Tampering? You've barely heard the term before. Tell us, my learned friend, who would possibly have had cause to carry out such an elaborate deception? Yes, there is someone who tampered with the scene of the crime that evening. All the evidence testimony points to one particular person. Counsel, I must demand that you substantiate this conjecture. Who are you saying is responsible for tampering with the scene of the crime? Obviously, there's only one person it could have been. Constable Rolly Beat. It was you. What? A policeman? A member of Scotland Yard? What nonsense. Why would my Rolly do something like that? There's no one straighter than my husband. Nobody works more tirelessly for the people of London. Mrs. Beats, you said in your testimony that your husband asked you to go to a nearby police box to fetch the officer on duty. The 15 minutes that you were absent from the scene is the only opportunity that anyone had to tamper with it. You're making it up. It's all nonsense. It all lies. What about the Japanese man with the whiskers? I bet it was him. He did it. Yeah, that was true. Constable Beat would have seen him do it. Oh. And forgive me for pointing it out, but when you dropped your bouquet, Mrs. Beats, it was after the defendant had fled the scene. Well... First, you make accusations about the landlord and his wife, and now you incriminate a policeman as well. But your accusations lack one very important thing. You claim the crime scene was tampered with, but there is only one reason anyone would commit such a reckless crime: to hide something. That's right, he's right. But my husband and I just happened to be there, that's all. So why would he have anything to hide? It doesn't make sense. You've offered no motive for this alleged tampering, and until you do, your accusations are nothing but empty threats. Constable Beat has a very good reason for wanting to tamper with the scene of the crime. That's the key to the entire affair. Mr. Naruhodo, have you managed to solve the mystery? Counsel, you have made a very serious accusation against the London police officer. If you are mistaken, I am sure I need not point out that your reputation as a lawyer will be irrevocably damaged. With that stark warning in mind, you will now explain to the court the motive for this alleged tampering. Yes, my lord. Constable Beat's motive for tampering with the crime scene was to hide where the victim fell to the ground. That is what the Bobby had to cover up at all costs. What? Where the victim fell? You mean where she was attacked? What are you talking about? We told you at the very start, didn't we? On the pavement of Briar Road. We saw it happen, remember? It was right here, as if anyone didn't already know. That's certainly what everybody has been led to believe. But in fact, this isn't where the victim was stabbed at all. What? What? I'm beginning to wonder where this tumultuous trial will end, Counsel. If that's your assertion, then the court is dying to know, my Nipponi's friend. Where are you proposing that the crime actually took place that evening? Right out here. But that's on the opposite side of the road. I don't understand. On the evening in question, Mr. Gerdeb's book fell directly down from the open window above, and your bouquet, Mrs. Beats, never moved at all. What did move was the scene of the crime itself. Good gracious!
Objection!
Perhaps you haven't been listening to the ample testimony the court has heard. But these witnesses both saw the moment the attack took place. That's right, I saw it with my own eyes. It was 5 o'clock in the evening and already dark. There was a typical London fog on the ground. When you saw the incident unfold and ran to the victim's aid, that was actually on the west side of Briar Road. No, that's not true. It can't have been. Constable Beat then arranged for you to be absent for a while by sending you for help. And during that 15 minutes you were away, he transplanted the crime scene. He moved all the things shown in the print. The victim herself, the 4 books. He moved everything, in fact, to the pavement on the east side of Briar Road. Extraordinary. But the constable overlooked one thing. What did he overlook? The bouquet, I presume. Exactly. The prosecution told the court just a few minutes ago about the discovery of the rose bouquet. Lord von Zeyck said it wasn't noticed until the morning, as it lay there where the street lamps cast no light. Yes, it can't be seen in the dark, obviously. Which is why it was only the bouquet that was found in its original position, on the pavement on the west side of Briar Road. And that is the defense's theory about what really happened that evening. How do you respond, Constable Rolly Beat? Is he gonna snap awake? No, he's not. Well, I'm very sorry. I didn't mean to nod off again, but I haven't slept properly in a month. Did I miss anything important? Oh, Rolly. It isn't true, is it? What that lawyer said is all lies, isn't it? I know it is, because you're the most upstanding, righteous man I know. I had a dream. A terrible dream. All the things I did that night. Everything come out. Everything exposed. Only, it seems, it wasn't a dream at all. Good golly! Order! What on earth is the meaning of all of this? Oh, Rolly, why? Why would you do something like this? Moving a corpse is a criminal offense, isn't it? Wishing the victim dead should be one too. Constable, explain yourself. Why would you do this? As a respected member of Scotland Yard, your duty is to protect the good people of London Town. I can't say, sir. What? I really am ever so sorry about all this. For damaging the Yard's reputation. For everything. I have a possible explanation. For why, on that particular evening, Constable Beat felt compelled to move the scene of the crime. I can think of one reason. What? How could you possibly know? You, a foreigner, presuming to understand the mind of a Scotland Yard policeman. And yet, Lord von Zeyck, it is the foreigner who has uncovered the startling truth of the matter thus far. I believe it would be beneficial to the court to hear this extraordinary young lawyer's theory. Counsel for the defense, if you please. Yes, my lord. Now then, I think you had better show us some evidence. At once, my lord. England, Japan, makes no difference where you come from. Human emotions are the same. And I think I have a fairly good idea of the feelings behind this man's actions. What gives away the motive for Constable Beat's unthinkable actions? It would be the anniversary, but where do we have the anniversary written down? Not in there. Anniversary. Was it written in here? I don't think so. I think actually it might be this. It might be the Metropolitan Police Regulations. Yeah, that's it, that's it. Because we don't have the anniversary written down anywhere. I realize that I'm a foreigner in this land, and I have only just arrived from Japan, which is why all this information about London's so-called bobbies is completely new to me. I've learned that, though honorable, patrolling the beat is the most demanding work in the world, for example. Keeping the peace, looking after citizens on his beat in all kinds of ways. There's no doubt that the young bobby is charged with a great deal to do each day, certainly. But for Constable Beat, the day in question was special. Special? How? On account of this bouquet, my lord. Oh, I guess I probably could have also presented the bouquet then. Oh, yes. It was our very first wedding anniversary. Constable Beat had worked so hard to be able to afford this simple gift for his wife. And he was so looking forward to taking her out for a celebratory meal. When he and Mrs. Beat stumbled upon a crime on Briar Road. Oh, I stuttered a lot there. When he saw that shadowy figure through the fog collapse on the pavement ahead of them, what must have gone through the man's mind? But, sir, just on that one particular day, I was looking forward to celebrating my wedding anniversary. Mrs. Beat puts up with a lot being married to a bobby like me. I wanted to show my dear wife how much I care. And this is the warrant card that the Constable Beat offered to lend me earlier. Inside, among the rules for patrolling policemen, it says, when a crime is discovered on his beat, the policeman must assist with initial investigations and help detectives. Aha! Constable Beats? Is that, or is it not, the reason why you moved the whole scene of the crime that day? Yes. Everything you said, it's all right. So, that's it. It was all to do with the boundary of your beat. Oh. Exactly. To summarize, the incident actually occurred on Constable Beat's beat. Good gracious! Constable, do you realize the gravity of what you have done? It was the first time since I became a copper that I'd ever cursed God. Stay close to me, Pat. The criminal could still be lurking somewhere. As we ran over to the scene, I had every intention of doing my duty as a police officer. We've got to report this to the station as quickly as possible. But then, it dawned on me. I realized where we were, where the victim was lying, and what that meant for me. When a crime is discovered on his beat, a policeman must assist with the initial investigations and help detectives. Why here? Why did this happen here? And why tonight of all nights? Why? It's a copper's job to guard the scene of the crime, so I told Pat she'd have to go to the nearest police box and fetch whoever was on duty there. It was then, when I opened my mouth to speak, it just came out. I couldn't believe the words that were coming out of my mouth. This is the next beat to mine, Pat. So you'll have to go to the police box that covers it. Turn right along Meerschaum Street, and then... Oh, how unfortunate, how unfortunate. He really did get caught up in a terrible scenario, didn't he? No, I was about to say I don't blame the guy. I mean, I do blame the guy. His actions almost resulted in the death of an innocent. Oh, welcome in, welcome in. Yeah, we are making really good progress. We're probably going to finish this within the normal 2.5 hour time limit. No. No. Hold on. Am I echoing? Hello? Oh my god. I've been echoing this whole time. I've been echoing for 1 hour and 17? Oh my god. Okay, well, Yeah, that's unfortunate. That's really unfortunate, actually. I think it's because I was messing with my audio settings beforehand. I was getting a new channel point redeem set up, and I needed an audio thing. So I did that, and I guess I left the reverb on. That is most unfortunate. Okay, it's fine. And here's the thing. Why did no one else tell me? Other people have been coming through here, and no one told me. Man, that's really unfortunate. Okay. Maybe I didn't have it on the whole time then. Maybe I accidentally hit the button at some point. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Oh, Constable. I just wanted, just that one night, to take my Patricia out for dinner. Oh, Rolly. Just that one night. You knew that if an incident was on your beat, your evening of celebration would be ruined. I mean, yeah, you know, you are right. I actually have been drinking my water, though. You know, for once, I have been drinking my water. And so you decided to move the entire crime scene outside your jurisdiction, just across the street to the east pavement of Briar Road, which falls under the neighboring beat's care. You see, I thought... Well, I was sure the victim was dead, you see. I beg your pardon? Oh, of course he did. Otherwise, my Rolly would never have left the poor woman on the freezing cold pavement. Ah, I see your meaning now. But God got me back for my sins, didn't he? That's why I missed the rose I bought for Pat. Oh no, Rolly, that was all my fault. I should never have dropped it in such a dark place. I'm so sorry, Rolly. As you can tell us, Constable, how many books did you move from one side of the road to the other in total? Oh, 4 it was. Yes, sir, definitely 4. 3 of them dropped by Mr. Natsume, and the 4th being the one that fell from the window upstairs in the Garrett household, of course. But what made you place the book in the victim's hand? When all the others were scattered haphazardly around, I mean. Oh, well, sir, that's because that's how I found it. How you found it? What do you mean? When we first ran over to the scene, the victim was already holding the book. So, when I moved everything, I made sure it was still in her hand. You're sure it was this book, The Lion's Pride, that the victim was holding? Oh, yes, sir. No doubt about it, sir. Interesting. The 4th book's information has been updated. I thought about it. I thought it was an open and shut case all the time, you see? There were only the 2 people at the scene, and Pat and me both saw it happen. However, which way you looked at it, it had to be the fellow who ran off who done it. I thought. I couldn't see the harm, really. I didn't think moving it all over to the road would make a jot of difference. I suppose this is it for me now. I've had it. Oh, Shrika 51. Good job, good job. Alright, see you later. My lord. Yes, Lord Von Zykes? I believe that concludes the cross-examination of the witnesses. Constable, you may withdraw. Yes, sir. Mr. Prosecutor, sir. What will become of my Rolly? What will happen to him? For now, you are free to go home. The police will contact you in due course. Please, don't punish my husband. This was all my fault. It's because I'm always moaning at him for coming home late. Leave it now, Pat. Let's go home. I'm tired. All right then, my love. One last thing, Constable. Sir? Let this be a lesson to you. In a criminal investigation, every detail matters, however insignificant it may seem to you. Yes, sir. Carve that lesson into your mind. And never again make the mistake of tampering with the scene of a crime. Never again, sir? You mean to say... Leave, now. This trial is not yet over. Yes, sir. Well, quite a startling revelation, I must say. Whoever thought of a third party transplanting the entire scene of a crime like that? Indeed, my lord. Nevertheless, there are some immutable facts here. Principally, that the accused, Mr. Soseki Natsume, is the only person who could have possibly committed this crime. What are you saying? No, I disagree. Yeah, exactly. I was wondering where he was going with that. Now that we know the true scene of the incident, there is someone else. Another person who could be responsible for the knife in the victim's back. Forgive me for being presumptuous, but I believe the prosecution is probably well aware of this possibility already. Lord von Zykes, is this true? Very well. Name the person, if you will, and if further investigation is warranted. The prosecution has no objection to the trial continuing. You will name this other person who could have perpetuated the crime. The defense would once again like to request a cross-examination of a new witness, my lord. Once again? My assistant made the same request earlier. In order to finally reveal the truth about this case, it is imperative that we cross-examine juror number 4, Mrs. Joanne Garadeb. Me? Me? Oh, dearie me. That request has already been denied. But the situation is very different now. Mrs. Garadeb, answer me this. What do you want now, you little toad? At the time of the incident, you were engaged in a violent argument with your husband, Mr. John Garadeb. In the course of the argument, a minor house fire was ignited, and to clear the smoke from the room, your husband opened a window that looks out over Briar Road. Well, what of it? You threw this book at your husband when he was cornered with his back against the window. Upon striking the pane of the open hinged casement window, the book plummeted directly down. Finding its way, what we now know to be the true scene of the incident. Yes, and as I said, what of it? During the argument, you were beside yourself with rage. As such, you threw not just books, but anything you could lay your hands on. So, let me ask you one more time, Mrs. Garadeb. This knife, the one removed from the victim's back. Have you really never laid eyes on it before? I don't recall it. Seriously? Am I supposed to remember everything I picked up and threw at my husband? And anyway, that man over there and all that regalia said members of the jury needn't testify, didn't he? Conveniently, yes. No, I have no recollection of saying that at all. Juror number 4. No? Make no mistake. You jurors are not special in any way. You're not immune to the judicial process. If you know something about this knife, madame, let the truth come out. But that's just a common or garden knife. It could have come from anywhere. We have several like that at home. If one went missing, how would you expect me to know? What's that? Are you joking? What are you saying, please, Mrs. Garadeb? Now you listen to me. I refuse to believe all this nonsense. I couldn't bear the thought that I'd injured someone. Do you hear? I couldn't bear it. That is not an argument in your favor. No, not at all. Oh, the poor woman. So, yes, I want evidence. I want to see hard evidence if you're going to insist on this being my fault. You're going to have to prove to me that I threw that knife if that's what you think. Come along now, chop chop. Do your worst. Well, Mr. Naruhodo? If I had evidence like that, believe me, I would have thrown it at her already. Then take the stand, juror. The prosecution does not object to the defense's request to cross-examine this woman. Thank you, Lord von Zykes. Man, he turned over to our side pretty quick. I kind of like that. I'm gonna have to testify. Juror number 4, as I'm sure you will appreciate having observed it with your own eyes today, witness testimony can lead to the most extraordinary truths being unearthed. Truths of which the witnesses themselves may not even have been aware. Oh, dearie me. So I demand your full and unadulterated testimony, Mrs. Garadeb. And mark my words, in this court of law today, we shall extract the truth. Do you concur, counsels? Certainly, my lord. Oh, that's what I'm hoping for, my lord. And this is such a strange feeling. For the first time since arriving in this country, it actually feels real. I'm here, in the Old Bailey, and I'm a lawyer. Witness, state your name and occupation. Oh, yes, my name is Joanne Garadeb. And I'm, well, I'm a juror, and such like. It sounds like even she doesn't know what she is, if she's a housewife or a maid or what anymore. The court has decided your testimony is required in order to clarify matters in this case. Do you understand, madam? Yes, my lord. You will tell the court everything that took place in your household on the evening in question. And I warn you, do not attempt to hide the truth. Oh, dearie me. Is Mr. Garadeb here? Chin up, Jody. Nothing to worry about now. Oh, I didn't know you were here, John. Wasn't totally you in the room that day, old thing, was it? Rather, I think I ought to testify as well, don't you? But what about your knee, dearie? Won't you worry about that. Hardly notice it. I'm not the sort of chap to lead a comrade and face disciplinary action alone. Oh, Jean. I presume you are Mr. John Garadeb? Yes, sir. Former 2nd Lieutenant of the 3rd Regiment of the 4th Northumberland Fusiliers, sir. Made my fair share of action, and now living the quiet life, as it were. The quiet life? Were you not engaged in an incendiary battle with your spouse on the day in question? Ah, well, yes, quite. I believe this may represent a first in the proud history of the British court. Calling a juror to the witness stand is unprecedented. However, the court will hear your testimony now, juror number 4, and that of your husband. You will recount clearly and concisely the events in your home at the time of the incident in question. Yes, sir, at once. Alright, we got this. Yes, on the day you're referring to, the wife and I did have a bit of a skirmish. Can't recall the reason now. Knocked a candlestick over and set fire to the carpet. Soon had it out, though, and got the window open. Meanwhile, I was picking up whatever I could find to throw at him. Plenty of knives around our place. Can't say I noticed if 1 or 2 went missing, I'm afraid. If that bally thing in the victim's back really was one of ours, you'll have a job proving it, I think. It sounds as though it was quite the battlefield in your household that evening. Although the entirely one-sided assault, it seems. The enemy caught us on the hop, sir, and no choice but to dig in and take defensive measures. To be honest, if the enemy had kept shelling us for another minute, we'd have been toast. Of course, a veteran such as myself is only too aware that on every battlefield you're just a gnat's whisker away from death at any moment. Are we still talking about a marital quarrel here? Well, I must say I'm dubious that this testimony will shed any light on the origins of this jackknife. In combat, one's focus narrows such that the surroundings are barely noticed. These witnesses may not be able to offer anything more than they have testified already. This may be a dead end. Von Sykes may well be right. Well, whatever the chances, we only have this one last cross-examination to uncover the truth, Mr. Naruhodo. Yes, I'm afraid so. Very well, counsel. Begin your cross-examination. Alright, here we go. Now, I know this is a lie. I know why. And the reason is what you told us yesterday, I believe. Yes, that's right. If I remember correctly, it all started because of a note that was tucked into the pages of the book belonging to Mr. Garrideb. A rather passionate note, in fact. But Mrs. Garrideb found the note, discovering her husband's little secret. And she gave him a mighty number of slaps across the face for it, too.
What a sordid state of affairs. Hell on earth.
I say, when a chap says he can't recall such things, it's common decency not to drag it all up. And besides, half of it was wide of the mark anyway. A likely story. These waters run very deep, huh?
What transpired next after these multiple blows to the face?
And the fire also spread to some of the items of furniture, didn't it?
The bookcase, my armchair, anything in mind, really. It just so happens there was some bathwater around that evening, so I sloshed that about to put it out. The most precarious situation you put yourself in. Ours is a 3-story townhouse on the west side of the street, where the water main isn't connected yet. Had to draw water from the public water pump during the day if you need any, you see.
The lodgers are always moaning that they can't get any water at night. Although, that little mustached Japanese man buys water in bottles, I believe. The defendant, Mr. Natsume, you mean? Yes, he receives a stipend for his studies, you know, from his home country. Can you imagine being able to brew a pot of tea at all hours? He's obviously very well off. Have you actually seen the state of the man? I believe he uses all of his income to buy books.
Well, anyway, the point is, I was able to douse the fire with water, fortunately enough.
Even though the room was on fire? As far as I was concerned at the time, it was more important to extinguish my anger than the flames. But when a woman wants to throw, she must throw. That is most certainly and not true of the Susato takedown, Mr. Naruhodo. How did she know I was thinking of that? I've actually been wondering how that hasn't been referenced this entire chapter. So, please cast your mind back and try to remember. Was a knife among the items that you threw at your husband that day? In all honesty, I don't recall, but I feel I must point out that I'm no monster. Let me see. Some bread, a cabbage, garlic, a towel, and a sponge, a napkin.
Excuse me.
Do you have something to add, sir? Mr. Garrideb?
Don't shoot. Sorry, I beg your pardon.
Did your wife's remark just now bring something to your mind?
Nothing of any significance, no. Just that the barrage of projectiles the old thing launched in my direction was somewhat more solid than she implies. Books, bricks, and the fire poker, I seem to recall. Ouch. And the woman's aim is uncanny. She landed a direct hit with every volley. Ah! Good grief, woman, we're not at home now. This is a court of law.
Oh, dearie me. I'm so sorry, dear. What's she even doing with a teapot in here? Honestly, Jean, I would never have thrown such things at you, obviously.
Well, take a look at this, then. How do you suppose that happened, Your pipe, sir. Had this thing in my hand as usual at the time of the onslaught. Knocked it clean out with one of the first soft projectiles she did, yes. And when I went to pick the thing up, it was broken in two. I'd like to see a sponge do that sort of damage.
I see. Your pipe was broken.
It would have been sent flying unless it was hit by something pretty... It would never have been sent flying unless it was hit by something pretty solid. Anyway, I managed to bandage the thing up for now.
You are one to exaggerate, aren't you, dearie?
I wonder what we should make of this account. It could be important.
The defense believes Mr. Garrideb's remark just now was to be of great significance.
This war veteran's words only tell us one thing. Betray a fiery wife, and pipes as well as his hearts may be broken. Sentimental wisdom, perhaps, but hardly worthy of adding to the formal testimony. Indeed. Common sense, one might say.
Might one? In that case, would you at least permit us to examine the pipe, sir? Well, I don't see why not. Oh, dearie me, there you go again, trying to ingratiate yourself with the young lady. Very well. Court will accept the gentleman's pipe as evidence. Ooh, I wonder if we're going to find the shard of the knife in it. Let me see. Aye, there it is. Oh, something just twinkled inside the chamber of the pipe here. Yes, I saw it. Something's stuck in there, I think. Let's turn it over and give it a shake. What is this? It's a tiny fragment of metal. It looks like the tip of a blade or something. The tip of a blade? Surely it couldn't be. And there you go. That's the evidence we needed. I hope I didn't speak out of turn, Mr. Naruhodo. I was just feeling rather disappointed for you that your request was turned down. Oh, no, it's fine. Thanks to Sato-san, we have some new evidence to work with. We should examine it carefully. Well, thank you for that rebuttal, Mr. Gerdeb. Now, if we could return to the crux of the matter, what can you tell the court about the knife used to attack the victim? And let's see, right here. I can prove it. Mr. Gerdeb, could I ask you that you take a good look at this, please? You can ask, but I can't see a bally thing. You can't? You used to call me Deadeye Deb back in the regiment of the course. That was some time ago now. Even when I'm trying to enjoy a large print book by the fire these days. I struggle to tell a B from a D and a P from a Q, to be honest. Oh, he does. Dearie me, it's rather wearing being asked about every other letter and every other word. You must be very, very dizzy. That was rather rude, Naruhodo. What is that? A tiny scrap of metal? Yes, almost certainly from the tip of a blade. And what may appear at first to be just a tiny scrap is in fact a crucial piece of evidence. Interesting. And where did the defense come by this evidence? It was lodged in the chamber of Mr. Gerdeb's pipe. My pipe, you say? By Jove. Wonder how that got in there. And what precisely does this fragment of metal signify, Counsel? Are you suggesting that it is in some way related to the matter of the stabbing on Briar Road? I am. What? When put together with another piece of evidence already in the court record, I believe this tiny fragment of metal will unravel the whole truth of this case, my lord. Oh, look at that. Oh, the back of his robe is burnt. You appear rather confident in that extraordinary statement, Counsel. Very well, then. Present the pertinent evidence to the court. What evidence, when paired with a fragment of metal, allegedly reveals the truth of this entire case? This is the knife that was found in the victim's back. If you look closely, you'll see that there is a small piece of the tip of the blade that's missing. A common issue with inferior blades sold at unsavory street markets. Criminals who use them regularly leave tips lodged in their victims' bones. And what of this particular knife? No doubt its tip has suffered a similar fate, now languishing somewhere near the spine of the victim. No, that's not the case. Oh. The tip of this particular knife's blade is the very fragment of metal we discovered in the chamber of Mr. Gerdeb's pipe. Good grief, Lord Von Zykes. I don't believe it. The knife from the scene of the crime and this fragment of metal are a perfect match. Good golly gosh! Order! Is this some sort of Eastern sorcery? This is no magic, my lord. This is a miracle. A miracle? So Von Zykes has figured it out, has he? Counsel, explain this extraordinary coincidence at once. Yes, my lord. The crucial point we have to ask ourselves here is when did the fragment of metal find its way inside Mr. Gerdeb's pipe? Something that was clarified for us in the most recent testimony. Had this thing in my hand as usual at the time of the onslaught. Knocked it clean out with one of her soft projectiles, she did, yes. It never would have been sent flying unless it was hit by something pretty solid. Oh, dearie. Me. During the argument between these two that occurred just as the victim was on the pavement below, Mrs. Gerdeb flung this knife at her husband. However, the knife missed Mr. Gerdeb, instead striking the pipe in his hand at the time, which caused the tip to break off, of course. Good lord! Yes, and that is when the tiny tip of the blade found its way inside Mr. Gerdeb's pipe. The chances of that are 1,000,000 to 1! And yet there's no other credible explanation for how the tip of the blade ended up in your pipe. Then, after losing its tip, the knife ricocheted off the pipe and flew out of the open window. Ugh. In short, this knife, which fell from the window of the Gerdeb's house, is the very same knife that struck the victim in the middle of the back on the street below. Oh gosh, oh dear, oh. No!
Objection.
Oh, what does Van Zykes have to say now? Another chalice smashed. A full-bodied theory, I'll give you that. A complex bouquet of seemingly trivial points, plausibly arranged to create an almost passable vintage. Allow me to toast my learned friend's characteristically Nipponese approach to bottling his argument. Sorry? But after all, it is just a theory. The bottle, I fear, is corked. Because you see, it's spoilt by an insurmountable inconsistency. An insurmountable... what? Lord Von Zykes, explain yourself. What is this inconsistency you claim to have identified? An inconsistency with the simplest nature, my lord. The victim was found with a knife planted in the middle of her back. Yes, in her... Ah! That's right, you silly little man. Now, Joan, old thing, what are you getting so excited about? Let us consider the basic facts of the case once more. The victim was walking along the pavement before being stabbed in the back and falling to the ground. And the knife that struck her had fallen from above. There's no possible way it could have planted itself into the victim's back. Ah! There is, though. She just bent over to pick up the book. Order, order! Oh, quite right, you see. That's exactly right. If the knife had fallen on her from above, it would have struck her on the top of her head. Well, he's lost for words, look. I knew it. I never liked his theory in the first place. I don't know, though, what really did happen. It would appear the defense has made a rather spectacular blunder. If a theory has even one inconsistency, it cannot stand. Your theory, my learned friend, is history. Ah, we were so close. I could see the truth. I was so sure we were on the right track. But now that the way's been blocked off completely, by just one simple inconsistency. No, dude, she bent over to pick up the books. Or in other words, we simply need to eliminate that one small inconsistency and the theory will stand. Mr. Sato? You mustn't worry, Mr. Naruhodo. You were just caught off guard, that's all, and your mind went blank. But if the path you are on is indeed correct, then a way will present itself. The key to this is in the court record, I'm sure. All the information you need is there. It seems you have nothing to say, my Nipponese friend. Well, your silence speaks volumes. A tacit acceptance of your theory is fatally flawed.
Objection.
Oh? This inconsistency doesn't mean I was on the wrong track. It means that I need to sharpen my mind and dig deeper for the truth. It's a test. Yes. If the knife fell on the victim from above, there's no way that it could have hit her from the middle of the back. Under normal circumstances, that is. What are you implying? Counsel? There is a piece of evidence in the court record that can explain this inconsistency. That can explain how the knife that fell from above could have pierced the victim's back. We already have the answer. Goodness! Utter madness. Surely this must be the last time. Counsel, present the evidence of which you speak. This is the last inconsistency. The final piece in the puzzle. If I can successfully make sense of this, the truth will be laid bare at last. The evidence that explains how the falling knife became lodged in the victim's back is this. This, the fourth book found at the scene. This is the final piece of evidence the defense will present. The burnt book? Is that not Mr. Garadeb's book? Yes, and able to understand its significance, we have to consider how it came to be at the scene in the first place. This photographic print clearly shows the book in question, and the victim holding it in her hand. But as we all know, it was the police constable that put the book between her fingers like that. Quite so, as a part of his wholesale transplanting of the crime scene to the opposite side of the road. That's true, however, as part of his testimony, Constable Beat made an extremely enlightening statement on that point. But what made you place that book in the victim's hand? Oh, well, sir, that's because that's how I found it. When we first ran over to the scene, the victim was already holding the book. So when I moved everything, I made sure it was still in her hand. In other words, the victim had already picked the book up of her own volition. And clearly, that must have been before she suffered the knife wound. Well, I should say so. After being attacked with a knife, I don't imagine she'd have been doing very much of anything. So the question becomes, why did the victim have that book in her hands? My Jingo, I think I'm beginning to see what may have happened now. Oh, dearie me. We know the book fell from the top of the floor, top floor of the Garadeb household onto the pavement below, at precisely the moment that the victim was walking past. Yes, exactly at that moment. The young woman was walking along the street in the light fog, when all of a sudden, a book fell right in front of her. The book I threw? Yes, Mrs. Garadeb. And what do you think the woman did? What would you do if you were walking along and suddenly a book landed in front of you on the pavement? Well, I can't really imagine it, but I suppose she might have reached down and picked up the book. Yes, that's exactly what the woman did. She picked up the book. Oh heavens! And when the woman reached down to pick up the fallen book, what position would her back have been in? That's right, facing the sky, completely and utterly defenseless. Then, in the very next moment, while the woman was still bent over picking up the book, the next object fell from the room above, the jackknife, straight into the middle of her back. And at that same time, walking by chance directly behind Miss Green, was the defendant, Mr. Soseki Natsume. Well, I never... It appears that Mr. Natsume, that the woman simply collapsed on the floor. In the dark of the fog, he didn't see the knife falling on him from above. Ah! And from the other direction, the constable and his wife saw no one but the victim and her apparent attacker. Though there never was a real culprit to run from the scene in the first place. No, there was nothing more than a series of unlikely events that culminated in an unfortunate accident. And that is the real truth behind this case. There we go. Oh, how nice and neatly wrapped up this is. Well, Mr. and Mrs. Garadeb? The very first time you showed me that knife, I I had my suspicions. I wondered if perhaps it might have been something like that. There, old bean. Poor Mrs. Garrideb. Of course, I never meant for anything of the sort to happen, but it was all my fault, wasn't it? I take full responsibility. I let my anger get the better of me. I threw that book. And I threw her the knife as well. Jean, dear? It's all right, I know. I'm ever so sorry. Truly. I'm sorry! You know, it's weird having a case where we don't have, like, a malicious actor on the opposing side. It's actually just genuinely an accident for once. I mean, we've had accidents before, I guess, but not usually as the focus, usually like a motive. Lord von Zykes, what's the news of Mrs. Garrideb? She's been taken to the infirmary. It would appear that today's events have left her in a especially flustered state. However, I believe she will recover in due course. There's no cause for concern. Yes, unbeknownst to themselves, they caused what could have easily been a terrible tragedy. They shall have to prepare themselves for the consequences of their actions. There is some good news, however, my lord. I have just had word from the hospital where the victim is being treated. Her condition is improving steadily, and the doctor believes she will regain consciousness soon. It's strange. We've been talking about the victim all this time, but we have never once met her. How wonderful! The woman is out of danger, it seems. Yes, that is good news. So, Mr. Soseki Natsume? Yes. On behalf of my fellow countrymen, I would like to take this opportunity to beg your pardon, sir. You came from your distant eastern homeland to study our great British culture, and have been repaid with immeasurable unkindness. Please accept our heartfelt apologies. No, it is me who should be begging your pardon. Oh no, Mr. Natsume. That evening, when the young woman just collapsed on the pavement before my eyes, I jumped to the wrong conclusion again in my confusion. What conclusion, sir? I was sure that the woman was dead. Yes, Constable Beat said the same thing, didn't he? He thought she had been killed too. I suppose she must have looked completely lifeless. It's been about a year since I arrived in Great Britain now. I still can't get used to the life here. I can't relax. I'm sure there are evil spirits lurking in the fog, like they're haunting me. Poor Soseki-san. His imagination really has gotten the better of him. Yes, poor man. So when it happened, I thought the young woman had been taken by the fog spirits. I should never have dropped my books like that and run away. I should have called for help! For a doctor! For the police! Instead, I've managed to create a rift in the relationship of trust between our two empires. And for that, I am truly sorry. One could indeed say that some sort of mischievous spirit had been at work here, I think. One that created a chain of unfortunate mishaps. We were fooled by this spirit, and led to false conclusions. But thanks to Lord von Zykes and our young lawyer here from the east, that chain has now been broken, and the spirit exorcised. I heartily commend you both. Oh! Now then, ladies and gentlemen of the jury. Yes, my lord. In concluding this trial, I must ask one last time for your decisions regarding the defendant's culpability. Are you ready to present your findings to the court? As the foreman of this jury, I assure you, we've reached a fair and just conclusion. I do declare that the truth can be extremely cruel at times. Well, didn't suspect the woman next to me, that's for sure. Sitting in for the old bean, well, she's been out of action, you know, but I know what her decision would be. Does this mean I'll finally be able to get out of here and start work? Well, it's about time. I say, I'll have a corker of a story to tell the grandchildren when I get home, won't I? Very well, ladies and gentlemen of the jury. I hereby demand your final decisions. Mr. Foreman?
Not guilty.
Oh, wonderful.
Guilty. Not guilty.
Not guilty. Not guilty.
That's what he sounds like, okay.
Not guilty.
And there we go, we won. Very well, Mr. Soseki Natsume, I hereby pronounce you not guilty. And confetti. Not from Gumshoe, though. I don't know where it's coming from. Oh, and the fireworks. I forgot they did that in here. I guess there's love celebrating here. And finally, Mr. Natsume. Oh, yes, Lord, sir. You are now a free man once more. It is my hope that you will continue to further your education in British culture. And may you never again be brought before me. Oh, yes, sir. Of course. On my life, I swear I'll never set foot in a courtroom again. I'm transported to the tears. Thank you, counsels. Court is adjourned. So I wonder how we're going to do this in the next chapter. The next one's definitely the last one. So we're going to have, like, the hard pivot into Von Zyke's story? Or is that going to be the next game thing, like I thought? Oh, Locum. Oh, wait, you mean me? Of course! Is there another Locum here? Is there even one? Compared to the original Locum student, Mr. Naruhodo Esquire, your name has become rather short, hasn't it? That's what's wrong with using my actual name? Oh, at last! I'm free, I'm free! Joyful, joyous, jubilant jubilation! Heady, hearty, happiness, hurrah! Oh, I am pleased. Mr. Natsume is delighted. Would it be so hard to just say that then? Well, oh come, you did it. You saved me from the brink. Well, what happened to the poor woman was in no way your fault after all. I'm just glad everyone can see that now. No, not that! Lovely, loyal, Locum lawyer! Yes? I mean, as I said before, I have just never gotten used to life here in Great Britain. Every time I look over my shoulder, I see foreigners. I see towering brick buildings. And from high up windows, I see them looking down on me, laughing. Look at that little hunchback. Oh dear, I'm sure it's all in your head, Mr. Natsume. But today, you, Locum lawyer, gave my gloom the boot. You stood firm behind that baronial bench, before all those blabbering British. You battled to the bitter end, laying bare the baffling truth. And when I beheld the blinding fireworks among the beams of the Bailey's roof, I bellowed, "Behold the best barrister ever born!" Well, that's very flattering, and we're very pleased for you. This has given me a wonderful anecdote to recount to my old friends back in Japan. And an anecdote? Is that what's to become of all my hard work? Ah, there you are, my dear fellows. I apologize for keeping you waiting. I rose late this morning. Oh, Mr. Sholmes, what a pleasure to see you. I see I'm here not a moment too soon. A disaster has been averted, I'm glad to say. Oh? The trial shall begin presently, Mr. Naruhodo, and I wish you the very best of luck. It's just finished. What? No! Then my haste was in vain? It's you, Herr Locke Sholmes. Oh, have we met, sir? This is Mr. Natsume, the man you had arrested, Mr. Sholmes. Ah, I see. I failed to recognize you at first. Our previous encounters have taken place in the gloom, either of your bleak lodgings or that prison cell. I simply couldn't place that curious face in the light. Charming. This is all your fault, Herlock Sholmes. You're the reason I had to go through this terrible ordeal. I'm going to give you a piece of my mind. My apologies, sir, but I assure you I have placed you now. You're the fellow who abandoned that poor young lady and ran off, are you not? Ah. Had she been taken to the hospital more urgently, I feel perhaps she would have regained consciousness by now. Oh. But it was unavoidable, I'm sure. We are but human after all. Anyone would have been shaken by such an experience. I do feel very badly about how I behaved. Well, never mind. Now then, what was it you wanted me to say to me, sir? Nothing. Oh, priceless. Oh, I am sorry, really, but that was quite priceless. Poor Soseki-san. Still, on the bright side, you've had an extremely entertaining experience without paying a penny. And it would seem you were not even found guilty. But there is no bright side. Whatever do you mean, Mr. Natsume? Even after this, I'm still cursed by the spirits and now by the Reaper. Ah, Lord Von Zykes. I haven't forgotten, you know, what facing that man in court means. Even if you're found not guilty, you're still doomed. It will be alright, Mr. Natsume. If the Reaper appears trying to make trouble, I will protect you. Hiya! Oh, there it is. I've been waiting for that this whole chapter. With a perfectly executed Tetsutato takedown. Much as I like being turned on my head, a bit of a warning might be nice next time, Miss Susato. Oh, okay, I thought the chapter was going to end there. So, Mr. Natsume, what do you intend to do now? You mentioned something about recounting your experiences to your friends back in Japan? Yes, I intend to return to my homeland soon. Oh! It has already been a year since I arrived here in Great Britain. I visited universities, libraries, bookshops. I've been honored with the tutelage of professors. I've learned so much about the wealth of literature here, and the city it has shaped. And I've come to realize that it is my calling to sail home and tell my fellow countrymen about it. That's very touching, Mr. Natsume. Or, in perhaps less veiled terms, you wish to withdraw halfway around the world to escape the terror of the Reaper's curse. No, that's not it at all. The more I learn of literature, the more the strange feeling claws at my insides. I feel compelled to return to my roots and attempt to pen a work of my own. Oh, I see. A work of literature by Soseki-san. Would be an interesting read. And what about you, Ms. Susato, and yourself, Mr. Naruhodo? Sorry, what about us? Will you return to Japan alongside your mustached compatriot? Why would we? A week has not yet passed since we arrived in London, and only now does it feel as though we finally found our feet. And you are accommodated in a hotel at present, are you not? That's right, but we need to find lodgings before it bankrupts us. I've calculated we can only afford another 10 nights before our entire budget is exhausted. Well then, you could take my lodgings. Oh, the windowless room? Ah, but what it lacks in windows, it more than makes up with a floor and ceiling and walls. Great. And of course, I'd be happy to leave behind the accursed evil spirit. Oh my, an evil spirit? Yes, oh yes. It tries to suffocate you while you sleep. It's an infallible wake-up call. I think he's talking about the cat. We'll think about it, if that's alright. Perhaps I can offer a more welcome alternative. Would you consider taking lodgings with me? Really? Well, a vacancy has conveniently presented itself. Though it is up in the attic, I might add. Are you sure it isn't just a storage loft? I spoke with the landlady this very morning on the matter of the price, and Iris is cleaning the room as we speak. You must come at once. I presume you have no luggage to speak of? Oh, this is simply wonderful. What an honor to be invited to take lodgings in the great detective's office's attic. I'm I'm too overcome for words. So, suggesting we look elsewhere... we look elsewhere is out, then. Then it's settled. Iris will prepare a welcome dinner this evening. And you must come too, Mr. Natsume, I insist. I don't know what to say, but thank you. And yes. Wonderful. Then I'll go and complete the paperwork from your formal release, Mr. Natsume. It shan't take long. Somebody's happy. Locum, I knew that you wouldn't let me down. I'm truly delighted to have met you here in London. Likewise, Mr. Natsume. It's been a privilege meeting you too. It's a shame that we're going to have to say goodbye so soon. Well, I've come to realize that I belong in Japan. But Locum, we'll meet again one day. Yes, I'm sure. And hopefully by then, I'll be a successful lawyer. Hopefully by then, I'll be a successful author. Well, my dear fellow, our carriage appears to have arrived. Shall we go, Mr. Naruhodo? Yes, Mr. Sholmes. I've a little doubt Mr. Natsume will be released in time for our dinner this evening. And so, Soseki-san's innocence successfully established. We rode with Mr. Sholmes to what was to become our new home. Oh, welcome in, Sassafrasses. The stream has been very good. We're actually nearing the end because, we just finished up this chapter. And what do you mean, fictional oomphy? I'm afraid that's a term I'm not familiar with. I don't know internet slang all that well. We rode with Mr. Sholmes to what was to become our new home. 221 Baker Street. Oh, is it going to end right there? Oh, no. Okay, we have more. The attic room. Oh, this is not a bad room. Not at all. We have a little chimney, or a stove, actually. But, it works as a chimney. Oh, yeah, Mr. Natsumi is great. He really is. Oh, hold on. What's that email? I want to look at that. Hold on. I'm tapping over so I can look at it. Oh, you have your own emote. That's cool. I quite like it. I must admit, though, I'm not great at flags. I know that's not a country flag, and that's one of the LGBTQ plus flags, but I don't call which one it is. I'm really, really bad with flags. So this, is to be our new office, yes. Our office? I'd rather like the sound of that. Me too. It's simply wonderful, isn't it? I hope you can see this, Kazuma. It's only a small step, but I'd like to think we're getting a little closer to your dream now. So, my dear fellows, do you like this place? Finally! Finally, we get to see him without his cloak on. Oh, he looks great. I want to see him without the vest. I want to see him with just the pink shirt on. I really want to see it. Oh yeah, an Ace Attorney emote would be great. I actually considered that for a while. Back when we were doing... when was it? When we're doing the Ace Attorney Investigations 2, I really hated Gavel. Like, I hated her so much. She kind of redeems herself in the last chapter, but no, for the most part, she sucks. And I still have it on my, art queue list of I hate Gavel drawing. And I was thinking of making it like an emote or something, because it definitely inspired me to make emotes, because on my emote list of things I want to make for emotes, I still have a number of entries that are inspired by the intense hatred I felt for her. Oh shit, I hate her so much. I love her character design, but god, she was insufferable. Because Sholmes, with no jacket. Wonderful, love it. Remove the vest, please. I want to see you with just the pink shirt on. Mr. Sholmes. Yes, thank you very much. That's a delightful room, Mr. Sholmes. I simply adore it. Good. I'm pleased to hear it. Iris and I are delighted to welcome you. Oh, I forgot about her. I haven't seen her in literal real-life months. I hope everyone's hungry. It's nearly time for dinner. We'll eat as soon as Mr. Natsume arrives. We have a lot to celebrate. Iris, you must let me help you. All right, then. Susie, you can be in charge of the salad. Oh no. They keep mentioning how Mr. Natsume is going to arrive after us. Is he gonna die on the way over? I really hope not. Splendid. That would be a most unfortunate turn of events. So, Mr. Naruhodo, how does it feel to have your own office in the capital? It's very exciting, actually. I can't help but wonder what adventure awaits us. Oh, those were precisely my sentiments when I first established my office in these premises. The case's revelation was quite fine. I figured it out quite early, so I was mostly just going through the motions without much to say. But it went pretty well, all things considered. I will note, though, I'm actually going to change the title of the stream once I end it, because I accidentally left my reverb on for like the first hour and 20 minutes of it. Very unfortunate, and no one told me. No one told me. Well, one person told me, but like the third person here told me, and the others just buzzed off without letting me know. I don't know why. I think I know them. I think they might have just done it because they thought it was funny. But yeah, I'll have to note that. But yeah, no, the trial turned out rather well. Oh yeah, no, audio definitely does have problems. I think though in this case it was my fault because I was working on a new channel point redeem beforehand, and it has audio that goes with it. And I was messing with my mic settings during that, so I probably accidentally hit the reverb button. Until I discovered the dark truth of the city of London, that is. Sorry. London is a glorious place, full of wonder, opportunity, prosperity, and mirth. But the brightest of lights cast the darkest of shadows. The shadows? What do you mean? Well, I believe you're well aware of the murkiness that lies behind London's facade already. So, once again, Mr. Naruhodo, welcome to London. Oh, I love Sholmes so much. Oh, he's such a great character. I love him. I love him so much. Of course, at the time, I had no idea of the significance of those words Mr. Sholmes so casually spoke. But it wasn't long before my turn came to lift the facade and see the true depth of the murk that lay behind it. Oh, and that's the end. Oh, it's ending there. Oh, man. Okay. Well, hold on. I'm gonna talk for a little bit. We'll talk on the screen. Here we are. Let me move over to my seat. Okay, so that is the end of Chapter 4 of The Great Ace Attorney. Oh, that was so good. You know, it's so nice to be able to get back into this game after being gone for so long. Because I mentioned this in our stream earlier today, because we did 2 today, that we have not played this game since May. Because I went on that work trip, and I didn't get back for a while. And I didn't even get back into this until, today. But it's so good. I love this game so much. It's a shame I had to take such a long break from it. But, that being said, I am planning to continue my original plan of getting the whole thing done this month. Which, not going to be hard. In fact, if I wanted to, I could knock out the last chapter, or what I believe to be the last chapter, this week. Right? Today's Friday, actually. We could. If we're doing it this week, we would have Saturday and Sunday to do it. But we'll at the very least knock it out by the end of this month. In fact, I want to get this whole game done. Not the whole game. I ideally want to get this game and the next Ace Attorney game done by the end of September. Right? That's my goal. Because the thing is, I'm going to pick up another game soon. Hold on. We've been trying really hard recently to finish up games on our backlog because it had gotten pretty big, and we've done a very good job on that. But also, we have games that we're going to pick up. Like, I'm going to pick up the new Ocarina of Time as soon as it comes out, and we will be doing it here. So I kind of need to rush this a little bit because that game comes out at the end of this month. So I'm not sure what the schedule will be exactly. I think I do want to get back into having proper schedules, though. We had one last week, didn't have one this week, which is why this week has been a little bit iffy on our stream times. Yeah, we're going to be focusing on Ace Attorney from now on, now that we're done with Nier. And, oh, man, I just gotta say, I loved this chapter. We didn't get to see the beginning of it, because we did that one back in May, before I left on the trip. But everything we did here today, both earlier today and right now, was so good. It was so good. Something I'm really interested in, though, is what are we going to do about Von Zykes? Because, so if we are drawing parallels to Ace Attorney 1,
Edgeworth is not really the focus. Well, no, he is. So from the very beginning, Edgeworth has a story being built up around him. As soon as Chapter 2 hits, which is the first non-tutorial chapter, they note that Edgeworth knows Phoenix, or at least they note it at the end of the chapter. And they have this whole relationship going back and forth through the game that culminates in the original final chapter where Von Karma swoops in and takes over. But they haven't done really any of that with Von Zykes so far. Actually, Von Zykes, he didn't even show up until the previous chapter because we were in transit or in Japan before that. So it kind of feels like he's in a weird spot because he's this big, intimidating figure. Everyone who goes against him dies. Mr. Natsume may or may not die. We won't know until we start the next chapter. And also, he kind of is on our side. Not really. He's on Justice's side, right? Because in this chapter, instead of being completely antagonistic towards us, he was mostly antagonistic towards us until what were their names? And until the maid, I forget their names already. Until the maid admitted that she might have actually been responsible, and then he completely flipped, like immediately on a turn of a dime, to to being on our side and going against her. So I'm not really sure what they're going to do with him. If we have one chapter left, which I'm pretty sure is the case, they're either going to have to make it a chapter pretty much all about him, which I would love, mind you, or they're going to have to say that for the next game, which I don't entirely doubt, because the thing is, this game feels like it's like a setup for the second game. Well, because it had a very, very irregular structure. Like, first chapter, only trial, very short, but that's normal for the tutorial. But also, it was like really involved and set up a lot of the story and established this as a very grounded story compared to the other games. Because, going from Ace Attorney 6 with its literal magic country and ghosts and spirits to actual real life racism is quite jarring, but it gets the point across. But then everything after that is very irregular in its structure. A chapter that's only investigation, a chapter that is only trial, and finally we got a chapter that is both investigation and trial, but only one day of each, which is still really weird. So the point is, I have no clue what they're going to do. I'm completely in the dark, but I'm also really excited about it because, obviously I love these games. If I didn't love these games, I wouldn't have been playing literally all of them that I haven't played before on stream. Because I played the first three way back when, so I didn't do those ones. But everything else, we've been playing all those. I've been having a lot of fun. Oh, man. So I don't know. I think we're just going to have to find out. So are we going to do this tomorrow? We will be here tomorrow. I don't know if it's going to be Ace Attorney, though. Here, actually, hold on. I have an About page. I can look at what games we still have on the backlog and if we need to deal with it. Let's see. Where is it? Ah, here it is. Okay, currently... Oh, I need to actually update it. I haven't updated it in a while because Rhythm Heaven and... Oh my god! Oh, thank you for the follow. The noise always jump scares me. Well, let me see. I'm not going to update it right now. I'll update it when stream's over. But we actually finished Replicant and we finished Rhythm Heaven. Okay, I guess the only games we have currently are Terraria and Ace Attorney. That's actually really good. We succeeded in getting rid of the backlog because we only have these two. So I think we'll probably either do a Terraria stream, because it's been a long time since we did that. And I know you guys love watching me die to invisible spikes 50 times in a row. Or we'll pick up Ace Attorney where we left off. Because we're not going to pick up a new game yet, I don't think. Because right now we're saving the new game slot for, Ocarina of Time, I mentioned already. Yeah, so we'll be here tomorrow. We'll have a proper schedule next week. I might even make it tonight if I feel like. And with that being said, I think it is time for us to end. We've gone, we're actually a little bit shorter than usual today. Usually we go for a minimum of 2 hours, 30 minutes, but, we ended the chapter. And we expected it to end early too, because we did most of the chapter earlier today. We had 5 hour stream? That was really fun. I enjoy doing the long streams. I've said it so many times already, but I love doing the longer streams. I want to go back to those because we used to do them all the time. In fact, Ace Attorney was the reason we did longer streams. 5-6 hour streams on the regular. It destroyed my voice. Don't get me wrong. Like, completely destroyed my voice. Especially because I kept doing it during, like when I was sick and had allergies. That was rough. But, it was fun. It was fun. So, let me see. That means let's find someone to raid, and then we can head out, shall we? Literally no one else is live in this category. So, let's go find someone else, shall we? Let's go over here, shall we? Ooh, playing Ace Attorney 3. I love that one. Second favorite one in the series. So, with that being said, thank you all for watching. This has been Seek of the Scuffed. I am signing off, and I will see you all tomorrow. Goodbye. See you then. Yes, bye, Saribot. Wait, hold on. Do I hit this button first or hit this button first? I think I hit this button first. Go.